This is Talk It Over, the only dating relationship podcast that begins in bed. Make the time to subscribe. Now let's pull back those sheets.
Can we talk about the relationships? Can we talk it over, see how we can build? Only you and I know that's the way it goes. In this big old bed, they'll talk it over, so talk it over. Can we talk it over? We can talk it over. Can we talk it over in bed? Talk it over. Can we talk it over? Can we talk it over? Oh, in bed.
Yo, this is your man Big O back for another episode of Talk It Over, the only dating and relationship show that begins in bed. And yes, we are still in the midst of a pandemic, so we are all in our respective beds, honoring those social distancing rules. But I guarantee you, as soon as everything gets back to normal, we all gonna get in one big, gigantic bed. I think I'm gonna nominate Tricia's bed since she's always traveling. We can just let me get the keys and I'll make sure the party happens. How you doing, Trish?
I'm good. I'm having a wonderful week. Honestly, no complaints on my end.
Nice. Very good. So no new crazy stories to drop on our listeners today.
This week was a quiet week. It was smooth. It was it just flowed. It was a really, really, really good week. So I thank the heavens for that one. But I heard you got some good news on the way in the form of a little one.
Yeah. It's good. It's good until that sleep starts getting interrupted. Then you're like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on now. I didn't sign up for all this.
Y'all need to get a little staycation away because it's gonna be your last little bit of sleep you get in years before the baby comes.
That's what you think. I'm sending them your way. You already got. Listen, that's what I'm gonna get to sleep.
Back. I ain't even gonna lie. I kidnap people's kids. So.
All right. Well, let me bring in everybody else so we can get this ball rolling, get to the success, inspiration, and the topic of the day, which I know our listeners are waiting for. So a guest that we haven't heard from a while, but is always welcome and a joy to be with us. Andrew, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing so well.
Welcome back.
So well. Thank you. I'm so happy to be back. And the weather just looks so nice outside. I can't wait to get out there.
Oh, nice. Awesome. So you've had a good week too?
Oh my God. It went by so fast. It was Wednesday, then it was Friday, and it was stimmy week. So it was amazing,
Every day is a Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Yes.
Every day is a Wednesday. So let me bring in Tricia's partner in crime, the other half of her Love Corner Connect, Miss Jenn Infantino. How are you doing today?
Hello. How are you?
Good. How's everything?
Great. Everything's...
It's been a while since you've been on here, so welcome back. The Love Corner is doing very well. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're having fun. The last one we recorded, I think we really are starting to hit our stride with those podcasts. Like we're having a lot of fun with it. So
nice. And the questions are still coming in.
Yeah.
Things, and it's funny because Jen did text me. I've been so terrible, Jen. I got your text. I didn't text you back. But we got to get together.
I know.
All right.
Dude, I'm terrible. Don't judge me.
I'm going to crash y'all's party one day.
Listen, come on. I keep telling y'all, come on. We would love it.
All right. Mr. Alphonse is actually in the building. How are you today, brother?
I'm doing well, sir. Apparently not as well as Jen, because I see that beautiful background. I don't know where she's at, but I definitely would love to be there too.
We got a lot of sunshine coming in from a lot of people, so I'm loving it. Yeah, so everything's good with you, brother?
Everything's good, man. Congratulations on the news.
Thank you. I'm taking babysitting requests. So go ahead and just sign up whenever you're ready.
I got you, man. Without a doubt. It takes a village, right?
Right, exactly. And so I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge one of our guest listeners today. As we have told you guys before, we're constantly growing and we welcome new faces, new voices, even fans of the show actually get sometimes an opportunity to be voices on the show. So I want to recognize Eva, who is in the audience today. She will, if she wants, definitely has an opportunity and more than welcome to speak on the topic at any time. Just let me know and I will bring you in. And then last but not least, Brother Hassan is with us as well today. We'll give him a shout out. I know he might be having a little bit of technical issues, but we definitely see you and you're welcome to come in at any time. Even now, if you can hear me.
Yeah, can you hear me, brother? Can you hear me?
Yes. Got you.
Okay, yeah. Good day to everyone. Great day to everyone. I'm just out and about right now. In the city. It's sunny.
Oh, okay.
Comfortable.
Nice.
Sun is shining. I'm at 72nd and Broadway, sitting on a bench with some pigeons. And yeah, it's a lovely day though. I had a lovely week. It's a lovely day. I got up today and I'm grateful. And that's the summary of it right now.
Beautiful. Yeah, I don't travel anywhere that takes me longer than 15 minutes to get to. Otherwise, I would definitely join you, brother. But Trish.
Yes.
You want to let our listeners know today's success and inspiration 365 from Brother Hassan's book?
Absolutely. So you guys know we have switched things up a little bit. And since the beginning of the year, we've been reading out of Success and Inspirations 365. You can find this book on Amazon, right, Hassan?
Yes. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, any outlet that has books, and occasionally, sometimes at your neighborhood bookstore if there's one around.
Awesome. So definitely, if you guys like what you've been hearing, definitely check him out. You can just Google Success Inspirations 365 by Hassan Booker. So today's inspiration is, since we're on the 80th day of the year, y'all, I can't believe
I think it's 78. I think it's 78 today.
It's 78 today?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Is my math wrong?
Trish living in the future.
You know what? I could be wrong.
Trish living in the future. She's trying to hurry up and get that vacation here.
Listen.
Rushing on the days.
Well, we can read number 78. I have no problem with that. So, today's success inspiration is, whatever the endeavor, stay the course until you complete what you started. Don't give up. Practice until completion, and you will continue to complete and eventually be successful. Stay the course.
Man, I've been trying to learn Spanish for about 10 years now. This course, you say stay the course. I mean, I can speak it and I can read.
Listen, don't give up. Never give up. If you don't quit, you don't fail. You know what I mean?
That's true. You're 100% right. You're right. You're right. I need to hop on the plane with Trish wherever she's going and just drop me off in a Spanish-speaking country.
Listen, you're more than welcome to come on one of these vacations with me. I mean, there's somebody bound to speak Spanish someplace.
That's true. So let our listeners know what we're going to be talking about today and talking it over.
So I'm actually really excited for this one because I think my opinions may vary.
Yeah, I know you got a lot of strong opinions. Let's go ahead and bring them in. Bring in the listeners.
Today's topic is it okay for your partner to have a wandering eye?
Is that the topic, or should they?
Okay, let's see. You're gonna make me go and get the real topic. Hold on.
Should you have a problem?
Should you have a problem if your partner has a wandering eye?
Because that changes the question a little bit for me, honestly.
I mean, I think it's the same. Is it okay? Should you have a problem?
I mean, okay, that's everything's contextual anyway, and it's subjective, right? We're all speaking about our experiences. None of us are subject matter experts except for Jen, who has Rhea, and Jen, who has the love coaching, sex and therapy coaching. But yeah, let's actually, you know what? Since I brought her name up, Jen, you want to go ahead and start? Should you have a problem if your partner has a wandering eye?
I think if everything's being tended to in the relationship, I just don't think fighting nature is a good place to start. And I think it's so natural to look at other beautiful people.
I'm on Team Jen today.
I think we should just kinkify it. I should kinkify it. Like turn it into something that fuels your relationship and like stokes you. Like, oh, I saw this sexy person. What'd you think was sexy about him? Like you can learn about your partner in the process and
I like
fold it
that.
into the relationship. So,
But what if it's something, what if the answer to that is something that you don't possess at all? Is that
yeah, there's lots of, I mean, there's like, you know, a million things that any one person doesn't have that other people have. I'm okay with that. Like, I think if someone's with me, they're with me because they like what I do bring to the table. And that doesn't mean they're not attracted to anything else. You know, that's too tall of an order.
Okay. Brother Alfonso, what are your thoughts? Let's get a male perspective in here.
So it's probably going to be a little unpopular, but I'm just speaking off of my own ego. I think I would have a problem with my partner, to be very honest. I know it's unrealistic, right? But you know, I think it would hurt my ego. But for me now, it's probably a little natural to use Jenn's.
Oh, you're not gonna hit. Okay.
I know.
Okay. All right. Not to say it doesn't apply.
Nah.
Do as I say, do as I do. That was happening right now.
That's why I said it's gonna be unpopular, but I gotta keep it real here. You know what I mean? So
get him, Trish.
But
Trish about to let you have both barrels.
Trish is just she's waiting. She's waiting for my head. But
that hand popped up. She about to start talking with the fingers.
Nah, but what Jenn said, it was right. I mean, it's actually interesting what Jenn said with regards to having a conversation with your partner to say, okay, well, look, what was sexy about that person, and bringing that into your relationship. I never thought of it that way, and maybe, I'm not saying I will, but maybe if she brought it to me in that way, I would be a little open to hearing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I just need to go back into this.
Here we go.
I got you back, Alfonso. Don't worry.
Listen, Olin, if you know what's good for you, you want to pick a good team today, okay?
Jenn's on my side.
It's not okay for your partner, for your woman to look, but it's okay for you to look?
Absolutely, Alfonso. Stand on that line.
Is that what you say?
Stand on that line, Alfonso. Yes, that's exactly what he said.
So what I'm saying is, right, I'm speaking just for me. I don't think my ego would allow that. If my woman came to me, and I'm just keeping it real, and said, hey, or I was out with her and she was like eyeballing another dude, it would hurt my ego. And
so what about her ego? If you was eyeballing a sister with a big behind that walked by, and how do you think she would feel?
I mean, I think it's based on how I do it. Like if I'm drooling or if I'm being totally disrespectful, that I wouldn't do that. But if I just like glance and, you know, I like I said, I know it's unpopular, but I got to keep it real. I think a lot of my answer feeds into my ego personally.
I applaud you for being that honest and open.
I mean, I got to keep it real. And I also, and this is going to be unpopular as well. I do think that. Oh man,
you're digging a grave deeper.
You know what I mean? As a matter of fact,
you're digging a grave deeper.
I want to be on Team Trish right now, so I'm gonna hold that comment for a little bit later.
No.
All right, let's get Andrew. Let's get him off the hot seat. I want to hear what Andrew has to say.
So I agree with Jenn about just having a wandering eye. Just because like I feel that it is natural, and when growing up, like my mom would actually tell me like it's okay to look at the menu just as long as you're not ordering, you know. So
what? I would be so confused with that. I'm like, wait, so what's the point of the menu then?
I mean, just to see what else is out there. Like, I mean,
I know, but I hear you.
There's so many options, and I mean, we're all evolving and growing people that like we change in different ways every single day, whether it be big or small. And so that person that, you know, your wandering eye may be a different wandering eye in the future. Like you may be wondering about like something that you know, I'm trying to think of an example that I was thinking of, but I mean, I just think that we're constantly changing as humans. And so like I'm always gonna look and see like what I want or what I'm interested in because it just
Mm-hmm.
changes. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
fluid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Trish, what are your thoughts? Should you have a problem?
No, and believe it or not, I am usually the one that has the wandering eye. I
Oh, I
am.
believe it. I don't, I believe that 100%, 200%.
Listen, and it's fluid. I love beautiful people, right?
You a
So
wanderer. As much as you
I'm a
travel, how could
wanderer,
you not have
exactly.
it?
Like I'm always everywhere.
Well,
Like
are you doing it in front of your partner though? Like are you wandering? You have a wandering eye when you're out with your girls, or like if you're holding your man's hand? Are you like just
listen,
like
I'll be holding my man's hand like
yeah?
and
See,
keep it moving. But I make sure that he's very secure in knowing that I'm not going anywhere. Like beautiful people are beautiful people. But
fair
like
enough.
for instance, like the other day I was driving in my car and I was on the phone with y'all know I tell stories all the time. The other day I was on the phone with my significant other and this guy walked by me and I was like, oh. And he was like, what? And I literally just told him. And I was like, he was like, okay, well, I guess. And then literally a girl walked by and I said the same thing. And he was like, oh, huh?
Was your car not moving? How these people passing you,
I
walking,
was sitting
and you've been
still.
driving? Oh, okay.
No,
I'm like,
I was
about to
sitting
cause an
still.
accident. You in the middle of the internet section, just watching people watching behind the wheel of your car. Like, what's going on up in Buffalo? I
Yeah,
see why you get to
I
walk out. That's the most action you got up there. You got to go into your car, drive, and watch. Like, okay, I see why you travel now.
You got jokes. No, I was picking someone up, and so I was sitting still and waiting, for them to come out. And like I said, and I saw somebody of the opposite sex and someone of the same sex, and I had the same reaction. And on the phone, and I told him, and he was like, his reaction was, you know what? I am. Hold on.
So.
His reaction was, I am. He's like, I'm not insecure. He's like, I'm glad you said what you said, but he's like, I'm secure in knowing that you're with me. So it's fine. If you want to look.
All right. So here's my thoughts. I want to know from everybody, and we can go in the same order. Well, actually, before I let my thoughts fly, let me see what Hassan wants to, if he has anything to add to this.
It really doesn't bother me if my significant other has a wandering eye. I mean, because it's like you can window shop without buying something. Because I window shop all the time. I don't miss much anyway. So if something that's appealing comes by, I admire it. I'm like, wow, that's all right. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, but then I always have to consider, when I'm looking, the package that comes with it, because everything that looks good ain't good.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And the person can start talking like, oh, I'm like, oh, hell no.
Right. As soon as they open their mouth, you just destroy the dream.
Exactly. So
just crush all hopes.
I can have fantasies or think about, well, you know what? If I was 30, that would be great. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, being I'm the age I am, it's like, I'm an observer now. So, it's kind of a comfortable spot to be in. But nah, it doesn't bother me, and my ego doesn't dictate to me the way it used to. You know what I'm saying? And the disengagement was a process, because I remember being very insecure, about my woman looking at someone or talking to someone, and I used to get the queasy stomach and insecure, and did she talk to him? Is that somebody that she's desiring, but now it's like, I don't care. Like, actually do me a favor and just go. If that's what you want, go ahead, groove on. You know what I mean? Something else is better in the wakes for me anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at now.
So let me add, thank you for that, Hassan. Let me ask you guys, because I hear everybody kind of, on a little bit on the same page, saying, it's natural. Why fight something that you normally do? Window dressing, look at the menu, just don't order everything all the time. So all of this is on a spectrum, right? It's okay up to a point, right? Because after a certain point, it becomes not okay. And I want to know what that point is. Alfonso kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier. It's like, yo, there's a difference between like a quick glance that you notice that there's another individual present, and then just a hard stare where you're just oblivious to everything else around you, including your partner. So where does that wandering eye, especially when you're with someone on that spectrum, where does it become blatantly disrespectful? Right? Where is it like, okay, hold on. You're doing a little too much. Andrew, I see your lips perking. I want to know what's your thoughts?
I think when you go out of your way, or if you become disrespectful, then I think that causes the issue of like having a wandering eye. So
What
kind
if
of
it's
what
happening
like,
too much? Like it's every time you're out. Like that's like
well, then
yo, all right.
somebody's getting cut off.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that could be if it's happening too much, that tips
Yeah, I think that's a deal breaker.
disrespectful zone. Okay. Jen, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, my guess is that if it feels like it's happening too much, there are other parts of the relationship that aren't like rock solid, that aren't being nurtured. Like if I feel really cared for and appreciated, and like I feel like I have his attention, I want my partner to be looking, because who are the people that aren't noticing anyone else? Like maybe their sex drive is super, super low, and that wouldn't work for me. So I just think it's indicative of like, yeah, you know, someone flirts with you. Of course they did, because you're super sexy. I like expect it. I expect people to notice you and for you to notice other people. And then I'm hoping bringing all that good, juicy energy home to me.
Okay. Okay. I like that take.
Yeah.
I like that take. Alfonso, where's the line? Where's the line for you?
Yeah, so I think you kind of hit it right on the head, Jen. So I wouldn't mind if someone were to come up and try to talk to my lady. It's almost expected that happens. I think when or if she were to engage back in a flirtatious manner, that's where the line would cross for me. So, even if she was to say, hey, thank you, and keep it moving. And even at a later time, she said, yeah, this attractive guy, tried to talk to me, that's fine. But the moment she starts to engage in any type of flirtatious behavior, that would be it for me.
But so, okay, really quickly, I think it's natural for people to flirt, like, for someone to give you a compliment and for you to giggle and say thank you, or, and this is from a woman's perspective. This is just, I feel like that is natural. That would be a problem for her to, just be like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it, and sometimes let's say we're out at a bar, or let's say she's out at a restaurant waiting for her girlfriend. She's the first one there. Someone approaches her and they engage in conversation. That would be a problem.
No,
so again,
it's not speak on that one.
Yeah, so it's not engaging in conversation. It's all about how she's talking to that individual. If she's like flirting with the person, or like touching the person's shoulder, or acting as though she's single, that would be a problem. Like I can't stop her from having conversations with people of the opposite sex. That's not what it is. It's how would I feel if I were to walk in and see her interacting with a guy? If it's inappropriate to me, that would be a problem.
Okay. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I hear that too. So I can't even, okay, I got that.
So Trish, go ahead, Jen.
This is going to add something to Alfonso's comment, that I think as long as both people are aligned on what the rules are, and it's like both directions, it's the same. I think that's totally cool. People should make up the rules that work for their relationship. That's like the other thing. So if some flirting is okay, that's like discussed, then I think you're good, For some people, that line is really one way or the other. And as long as both people think that's where it should be. I think you're okay, you know.
As long as they can talk it over.
Yeah, right.
Trish, I think this is a good place to take a quick break, hear a word from our sponsors, and then come back and share a little bit of what you found online to see what the intraweb has to say.
Absolutely.
All right, so yeah, we're going to take a quick break, get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back at you.
Want a wildly satisfying life? Increase your PQ, your pleasure intelligence. I help vulva-bodied people turn on their turn-on and transform their lives. You can find me at juicyjenn.com. That's JUICYJENN.com. You are listening to Talk It Over, the only dating relationship podcast that begins in bed.
All right, welcome back to Talk It Over, the only dating relationship podcast that begins in bed. Trish, remind our listeners what we're talking about today.
All right, so today's topic, which has already proven to be a very juicy one, is
it meeting your expectations?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
You know, listen,
right.
I kind of knew this one would go this way, but today's topic is: should you have a problem if your partner has a wandering eye? Now, go ahead.
I was going to say the general consensus is no, right? I think I'm getting that sense, like there is no up to a point, right? And then
the general consensus among the ladies, yeah.
Okay, right. Well, no, it's the general consensus among the fellas too. Alphonse has already been open and honest. I mean, he said what he said, and if y'all want to hear it, go back to the beginning of this episode. But listen, we have a new member who's been very politely listening in the audience, and I wanted to give her a chance to voice her opinion as well, because like I said, we're always growing, we're always welcoming new voices to the show. So without further ado, Eva, if you're ready, I would love to have you come in here and first tell our listeners, because it's the first time they're hearing from you, just a little bit about yourself, your background, and then what your thoughts on the topic are.
Hi, my name is Eva Goita Ode, and you can call me Eva for short. I'm a filmmaker, and I'm currently in Los Angeles. My opinions after listening on the topic, I feel like the security of a person is necessary for the relationship. However, when you define line of testing that security consistently, testing that person's self of security within themselves, that's where the line is kind of drawn. And I also wanted to point on what Hassan was talking about. I was wondering if your love language had to do with like words of affirmation. If you don't like when person is talking, you know, there's a limit in terms of what wandering eye and then connecting with somebody with words, and then after that like physical touch. So it's kind of like if you're building affirmations and community through people and you have the intimacy through words, then yeah, I can understand why that would be the line that's drawn. Nice. But in my opinion, it's not a problem.
It's not a big problem. Okay. Well, thank you. Oh, we got a filmmaker in the building. Trish, we about to be on TV. we about to be on. We taking this thing on the tube.
I'm with it. Y'all know I got a face ready for TV. Okay.
You already on the out there in the open with your Love Corner connects.
Listen,
you already got one foot in the door.
Well, you know, and again, it seems like the general consensus, and I think from open-minded, insecure adults, you know, we're all pretty much on the same page, you know. But I found an article online, you know, when we talked about this topic before the show, I found an article that talks about just, you know, how do you handle or signs that your partner has a wandering eye and why it's, you know, no big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So This is through Elite Daily. And the 3 signs that they gave where they talk about whether it's harmless or if it leads to more risque behavior is one, if you catch them looking at other attractive people. So this is general, what we've been talking about. You catch them looking, and then there's, again, a fine line where it's, you know, if they're oogling, that's one thing. Or if they're just glancing, that's another thing. If you're still uncomfortable with it in a relationship, you know, again, they're saying, you know, have those conversations. But it is unrealistic to expect your partner to never check out someone else for the entirety of your relationship. But again, if you're uncomfortable with it, asking them not to do it in your presence should be totally fair game. Literally, that's exactly what it says, which I think we can agree with. The other thing that it talks about is if they engage in questionable social media activity. So, you know, we all live in this day and age where you can do everything that you would do in the real world online, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've heard of relationships breaking up, people ending relationships over online flirting, online, you know, oogling. Like, you know, I recall a situation where a girlfriend was telling me she and her significant other got into a huge argument because he liked too many of the same big booty girl pictures on Instagram, and she went off, and they got into a huge argument about it.
Was it the same account or just the same type of picture?
The same account, the same girl was just like on this girl's page, you know, just liking. And I personally, for me, I just didn't understand it. I was like, he can't touch her. He can't, you know, he can't get at her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand what's the problem. The problem was there was an insecurity there. So I want to pose that question to you guys. We're talking about in real life, you walk by somebody and they look good, but what about when it's online?
I mean, this online thing is to me, it's not real. Like you're the people, one, you already hit it on the head. You can't get to them. Mm-hmm. So it would be more concerning if it was somebody that like they actually knew, or somebody that I was like, oh, this person's been around. This is a friend. This is somebody that I know they can meet in the real world. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's, you know, it's just my perspective, but what you see online is not real at all. Exactly. It's not real at all. It's one photo out of probably 200, 2,000 to get the right angle, to get the right light. It's doctored up. So
photoshopped, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
And so I get her having an issue because it's just hitting that same vein. Like, yo, switch it up, like somebody else. But if it's just that same constant, and it's like, yo, what is it about this one person? And then, you know, she honed in on that. And it's hard. It would be hard to defend that. I would say. So I kind of feel for her on that front. But in general, go ahead, Alfonso. No, go ahead.
I think, you know, that really is a very interesting point, and it also allows me a kind of a point of clarification from my my first remark, right, around my ego. I think for me, it's just to be clear, it would be really naive of me to think that my significant other is not, you know, attracted or sees other people in a favorable light. I think for me, it goes down to the respect factor. So if I'm with you and I'm spending time with you, and you're spending the majority of the time Google-eyeing over someone else.
Yeah.
I think that's
like that one. Yeah, that's where he messed up at. He should just been like all different types. Where I'm at. He like one particular. That's what
that's right. So if I'm sitting across and I'm trying to engage you in some type of conversation, and you're looking over my shoulder and like just, you know, eyeballing someone, that's to me is a disrespect aspect of it. Now, if you're out and about with your girls or what, I can't, how can I really realistically believe that you're not going to look at anyone else?
Right.
As long as you're not acting on it, I'm cool. So I just wanted to clarify that.
What's Jen and...
Go ahead.
I want to get Jen and Andrew. Yeah, I want to get Jen and Andrew get their thoughts. And Eva too, if she wants. Andrew?
Oh, Jen, you're muted.
Okay. Yeah. So the online thing, ooh, it's worth its own episode, I think, because the online thing spans into all kinds of ways people are connecting online, and then all kinds of visual stuff and different types of porn, and some usage can really affect people's sex life with their real life partner. And so I think that often gets lost in the conversation. It becomes like a moral issue when really there's like a functional issue that sometimes becomes an issue around porn use. And so like, you know, the ethical moral conversation isn't super interesting to me around porn and online activity, but the way it affects people has been really documented over and over and over again with certain online use. So I think that is honestly probably worth its own show. People always talk about the moral side of it, but there's real fallout to the way some people are using porn, and it's really adversely affecting their primary relationship. That would be my concern.
Okay. Andrew?
Well, I guess going back to, I think that like when people are online, it's kind of like almost as if like you're being on your phone. Like there's a certain level of privacy that I guess one should have. But I think when someone's online and again they're being disrespectful or like they tag you in things or like, you know, they're, you know, just being, I guess, messy, then that's a different story. So
So what let's take Trisha's friend's example. Like, yo, you're with someone and you know, like this could be kind of it's a mirror thing, right? So you see your friend or your significant other or your partner or whatever liking, you know, just various pictures. In the real world, that could be the same thing as them just, you know, glancing at somebody walking down the street or somebody that just walked into the
yeah.
store out on the bus, right? But then like in Trisha's example, you're just liking the same person's picture, every photo, just liking it. So then the equivalent of that is you're out and this person's just eyeballing just one individual, like just straight hawk. So does her friend have, you know, is that act still a
I,
transgression, even though it's online or virtual?
I think as long as he's not in her DMs, we're straight. Like we're good. Like,
Okay.
I'm with you on
Okay.
that one.
yeah. So as long as you know, she can't pull up a screenshot and send it to me, we're good. Like he
Okay.
can look whoever he wants because I know like I have a friend now who I'm attracted to who's a male, and like we'll be out sometimes and he'll be like, "You think she's cute?" I'll be like, "Yeah," or I'll say, but sometimes when I'll be like, "Oh, he's, you know, he's fine," he'll be like, "All right now," and I'm like, "So what?" You know? So
He said, all right, well, it's the
whatever.
words you use, right? He said cute, you said fine. That's two different things. That's two different things, right? Cute,
Yeah.
oh, you know, that's nice. Fine, it's like, oh, wait a minute. That's a different level. He's like, hey, I said cute. I didn't say she was fine. Um, Trish, what do you think? Oh, go ahead, Trish, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, Hassan, you know, I always like to hear your point of view. From an online perspective, if your partner has a wandering eye online, like how do you handle that? What is your opinion on that? Can you?
My opinion on that is I don't even really care, right? It's online, you know what I mean? Okay, that's what you want to do. I can't be tripping on it. That's too much energy for me, right?
Yeah.
So if someone is that jaded with their eyes, it's like, you know, that's them. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, what's done in the dark can come to light. So, you know what I mean? It's like I can't control that. You know, some days I like to look at things online sometimes, right? But not all the time. I mean, and again, that's an image, and I think it's fake. You know, I don't believe what I see. You know, I don't even believe what people tell me. So it's like I'm not always impressed with that. You know what I mean? So okay, so why are you? My thought often when I see someone online posing and figuring and making these quotes
Talkative
about
poses,
things,
yeah.
I don't always believe it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not something that I internalize to give it that much of my attention.
Okay.
Okay, so now I have another question for you, and I'm sorry, but so what's the difference if you see you with your partner, they see somebody walk by, y'all maybe at a restaurant seated across from somebody else, and your partner is looking at this person because they find them attractive, but they're not talking to them, they're not saying nothing to them, they it's just they have seen them, you know what I mean, and have acknowledged that this person is good looking. What's the difference? Because I'm hearing that in person, a lot of people will have an issue. Some people would have an issue if their partner was looking at somebody in person or that they passed by, and would have an issue with that because of ego. No, I'm not getting at you, Alphonse. I'm just saying. And then online, if they're doing the same thing, but really just kind of honing into one person, it's okay because it's online. I think if there's no physical interaction or if you're not acting on it, it shouldn't be an issue either way.
But how are you looking at the person, right? Like, so if I'm sitting across the table from you and you glance and you're like, oh, he's attractive, and then you kind of re-engage me and we're talking, that's fine. But am I trying to talk to you and you're visibly distracted because
looking at that person like it's the meal coming out?
That's where I have an issue.
How often does that really happen?
I'm just saying.
Well, I'm sure it happens.
I'm just
sure
saying. Like, I'm sure everyone on this online on this line right now have seen someone and just like was like, wow, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's not fact, right? People, are able to do that. To me, again, it's the disrespect, right? Like, don't make it so obvious, right? That it's going to start an issue with me.
But
has
what
anybody
if I see somebody that is so good looking that I'm like, yo, babe, I'm hot and bothered and turned on, and we're gonna go home and take this to another level. Then what? You still gonna be mad at me?
Yeah, I might be a little bit mad at you.
Yeah?
I might be a little bit mad at you. You can't be using somebody else.
So you thinking about another
Exactly. Like, I'm with Alfonso and Hassan on that. Like, yo, don't let me stand in your way. Don't let me stop you from being great. Go, it ain't me. I'm not a placeholder. So something I wanted to ask, and this is kind of around the issue. It's not directly the issue. Has anybody ever been the object? Like, you're the person that you see like you're out maybe by yourself, restaurant, club, whatever. And you see a couple, and the person's eyeball, like the female or the male is eyeballing you. Like, and what does that do? Okay. So what does that change anything? Like, what does that
well, you know what? I've actually been the object. I've actually been an object at a function, and the young lady kept giving me her eyes. And when I went to the restroom, she intercepted me and slipped me a note with her number. And I accepted it, and I followed through. And I cheated on my lady. I've done that several times. You know what I mean? And I've also been the one to give someone else my number when I was with someone. So it's like, I just straight cheated. So you can't stop the inevitable. If somebody has a wandering eye and they want to take it to the next level, it's nothing you can do if that's what their desire is. So it's like, I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? There's no illusion. You know what I mean? So okay, if I'm with a woman and she constantly got the eye, then she's not that into me. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it now. I wasn't cool with it 20 years ago, but now it doesn't matter. 20 years ago, I would take her through some shit. Now, I don't care.
Hassan said, new millennium, we ain't playing that.
Yeah,
2000.
I actually was a part of that as well, where there was a young lady and she was with her man, and you could, she was, eyeing me, and she would come around with her camera, like she would act as though like she was like kind of filming the venue, but she would always come my way and kind of get me in there. And then he went to the bathroom and she came and she started talking to me and started trying to, give me her number. And dude came out at the wrong time and he approached me and was trying to like get at me. You know what I mean? And that type of behavior is so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful, right? So like I saw that she was with dude, and I asked her straight up, I'm saying, is that your man? And she's like, yeah, he likes me. And right off that, it just turned me off personally. But that's the type of behavior that I'm talking about that is so disrespectful. You know what I mean? To the point where he approached me and was trying to get at me. You know what I mean? Until I had to let him know what it was.
Trish, was that you?
Was that my what?
She was. I was the one that.
No, that was not me.
She was honking at me. I was the guy who was honking.
No. So okay, hearing that context, it makes sense why some people why you would have an issue with your woman having a wandering eye. I'm gonna be honest. I got eyes. I'm gonna look. That's what God gave them to me for. And if I feel like I've always made anyone that I'm with secure enough that they don't have to worry about that. Like I will tell you, like, listen, I saw, we walking by. Did you see? Oh, I find yada 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 attractive, whatever it is. But in the same instance, I'm here with you, and I don't want to be with nobody else. So for me, it does not matter. I do think those stories that both of you just shared were very disrespectful. And I can understand how someone having a wandering eye and acting upon that forms or formulates, your opinion on I'm not comfortable with my spouse having, or my significant other having a wandering eye. Like, I completely understand that. So I actually do want to ask a different question. And the question that I want to ask now is like, where does this come from? Like, where does the root of having, what is the root cause of having a wandering eye? Like, what does it stem from?
I think it's fantasy. I think it's fantasy and escaping.
Okay.
I think it's also natural though.
Yeah.
Everybody dreams.
Especially if you're living with this person and you kind of fall into a routine. I think everyone likes an escape. It's a fantasy thing, right? Or if maybe this guy has a certain characteristic, and it may not even be physical all the time, maybe just the way his presence is, right? Like you're just like, wow, like he just commands a room. And if your significant other doesn't have that same characteristic, it's just a difference. And maybe getting out of the everyday routine. I'm gonna share a true story. So my best friend, well, maybe I shouldn't say one of my friends, I'll say that just in case, other people are listening to this podcast. I don't want to get people in trouble. He started cheating with a young lady, and not to sound callous or anything like that, it was a considerable downgrade in all aspects, because he ended up bringing this lady around, and just personality wise, just kind of from an attraction level. And we asked him, like, what is it about this young lady that is allowing you to cheat? And he said, she doesn't look better than her. She doesn't have a better job. She doesn't, she's not a better provider, but she provides me an escape. I don't have to be anyone's daddy when I'm with her. I don't have to be anyone's provider with her. So that is what allows me to gravitate towards her, right? And that's what I mean by escape. It doesn't necessarily always have to be this person looks better. It's kind of that 80-20 rule, right? Like, I'm sure we all are aware of the 80-20 rule. And in that case, that person gave the 20% rule, if that makes any sense.
It does, but once again, we really are we're talking about what is the cause for just the wandering eye. We know that wandering eyes can sometimes lead to infidelity. We know that. for those that are not secure enough in themselves and their relationship and what they have going on, that is a whole nother show that we could definitely address, like cause and effect of cheating, or why people, you know, are or cheat on their significant others. We can have a whole entire discussion on that. But specifically when it comes to wandering eyes, like if we're just talking about fantasy, if we're talking about a small escape from or momentary escape from reality, that is not where you're physically with someone else, but you're just fantasizing about someone else. It's okay to have a fantasy, but it's not okay to have a wandering eye, is what I'm catching at the end of all this. It's like, it's okay to fantasize. So it's okay to have an escape from reality that is not acted upon, but it's not okay to oogle somebody in public, or it's not okay to have to act on that fantasy in front of your partner. Like
in front of your partner.
Yeah,
in front of your partner.
I feel like if you can acknowledge that that it's a fantasy, if you can acknowledge that it's just a simple escape, that that person might possess something that their partner doesn't have, like you said, a presence. You know, it might be something as simple as when someone walks in a room, the presence that they have, and that people can find that attractive. If there is not a physical act upon that, I don't feel like there should be an issue. I feel like it's just a part of nature.
Well,
so Trish, let me ask you this question, like, and let's just keep it all the way 100 real, right?
All right, let's do it.
So you and I are in a relationship, right? And we're going strong. And I'm sitting across the table from you, okay? And you're trying to engage me in conversation. And I am blatantly disrespecting you because I am not responding to you in the way that you may want me to. And I am totally, my attention is to another young lady that I don't know. I'm not talking to that person at all.
Tiana Taylor just walked in the room.
Exactly.
He can't get his eyes off of her. He's just staring at her and not even listening to you.
Maybe not even famous, right? Because, you know, you could say, oh, I was starstruck. It's just another young lady that I just find attractive.
Tiana Taylor like.
Yeah, I spend a considerable amount of our time together eyeballing this young lady. You telling me right now?
Yes, you're not gonna have a problem.
I say to you, babe, look, I want to be here with you. I love you, but this girl is just so attractive. You're okay with that?
So okay, so here's see, this is me though. I'm
Trish, we already established that you a wanderer.
Like,
Trish, you are a wanderer.
Right now, if your attention, if I know one that we're solid in our relationship, and that I don't have a problem with you cheating, and like that's not something I don't have to worry about, but your attention is on Shorty because she bad. I want to look at Shorty because she bad. Like, I want to find out what's so attractive, and then my conversation is actually going to change. Now we're going to talk about what's attractive to you, what you like, what you don't like, because maybe we have not had this conversation. Maybe what I'm talking about isn't relevant at that moment, and that's a conversation we can save for later. And maybe we can have a whole conversation about Shorty and how bad she is, and then, you know, our relationship will just grow in a different way that day. That's me. Stuff like that don't bother me.
Okay.
But again, that's me. Again, I'm gonna turn around and be like, yeah, Shorty, it's bad, yo. Like, did you see that ass? Did you see the face? Like, yo, like that's just me though. Like, I don't know. So it really, really would not bother me because again, my conversation is gonna change. Like our conversation, our topic at that moment is probably going to head into more of a romantic direction on what our preferences, what we like, what we don't like. You know, if we were talking about the weather, I can see you're not interested in that now. Let's divert and let's talk about what you are interested in. And
for comedy's sake. For comedy's sake, and then I want to get, you know, last thoughts from everybody. But for comedy's sake, let's say that happens, right? You turn around and Shorty's just busted. Do you lose respect?
Exactly.
For your man? Like, wait, that's like, do you lose respect a little bit? You're like, hold on.
Busted, now I just want to know what you over there looking at. Like
right.
The same girl, the girl in the corner. That's her.
Like, that's not gonna make you. That's not gonna drop. You know.
Listen, everybody has their preference. If I know that you're attracted to me, it's for me, like I kid you guys not, it would not bother me. It really wouldn't. Like if you're with me and I know I don't have to worry about you cheating or you physically wandering, go ahead, look all you want. Let's look together. Let's enjoy the view together.
Yeah, Trish is of a different breed because Trish needs her. She needs to be able to wander. Yeah, she's saying it don't bother because she's gonna be the one out there wandering. That's why. So listen, this has been great. I definitely want to save room to get Andrew's last thoughts, Jen's last thoughts, and I would definitely love to hear again from Eva before we wrap up here. So Andrew, any last points?
I'm with Trish. I'm the type of person too where
Oh,
like
you a wanderer too? Oh God.
I am. I need a
So
yard. I'm like a dog. I need a really big yard. You know, I don't need a fence. I
that's
need,
why
you know.
you can't wait to get outside now.
Yes.
All right. So Trish got one. Jen, you started off so strong. Don't disappoint me.
Thank you. I think that we pick partners for a whole bunch of reasons, and when we've got a wandering eye, it's around basically one reason. And so I don't expect to be the most beautiful person to my partner, but I expect that like they love the whole package, everything I bring. So the wandering eye doesn't really bother me. I do also think if I'm out with my partner and we're building up like really good energy over the course of the night, like don't disrupt it too hard by checking out. Like,
Right.
We're trying to like make a night together. So those are my final thoughts. I believe in like just putting things on the table, because when they go underground, that's when the problems start, in my opinion. Like it
Keep them
gives
above board.
power. It gives it too much power when it's like, when you go underground with something, that's when I think it becomes kind of dangerous. So I'd rather just know, like, you think that girl's hot. She is hot. I see it. She's beautiful. It's awesome.
Nice.
So.
Okay. I like that. Eva, would you care to share your final thoughts with us this day?
Okay, let me just say, I'm not a wanderer, but hold on. Just give me one moment.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered by I watched my parents, like when my dad like went out, he was like, "Oh, that's my wife," My mom knew about it. Like he would call another woman his wife and like, flirt. And my mom would call another dude a husband and flirt. But they were secure. Wholly secure within their own relationship. But I learned through that context that I'm not bothered. Like if I can get something for free, learning, then I'm gonna probably do that. And my partner should be glad that we got something for free. I'm just saying that. But I also believe that like if they're looking at something, it is not a subtraction from who I am as a person or my value. It's like what you were talking about, the aesthetic. The aesthetic is everything. We love things that are beautiful. We don't like things that are ugly. But to I think Alfonso, what his narration of, oh no, if the person is busted that you're looking at, I'm gonna lose a little bit of respect.
See, thank you. That's what I was trying to get at. That's what I was trying to be like, hold on. You're gonna be like, wait a minute. Wait.
Only because I'm like, oh wait, I know I have other things that are aesthetically pleasing and I'm the great package, I have value, blah blah blah. But them? You really don't
right.
I can't be on, are we on the same level? Like that's not a
right. That's thank you. Thank you. Somebody validated me on that. That's the point I was trying to make. So Alphonse, brother, you've been brutally honest and open, and again, I can't thank you enough. What are your last thoughts on here? And this is your last chance to dig at Trish before
to try to rectify.
I'm gonna let it go. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
Nah, like I said, I'm a realist, and it would not be fair of me to believe that I could, look at someone and say, wow, she's pretty, and not my significant other. For me, again, it's just a respect factor. Like, do it. I think Jen said it right. Do it. That's cool, but don't check out all evening. Right? That to me is where my ego would get hit. So I just want to be real with that.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it. I think everybody eloquently put it in their best words. I don't have anything else to add. Trish, you got anything to add? Because I think this was a great one.
Yes. Well, my final thoughts are Love Corner Thursdays.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Send all your questions to Talk It Over Show on IG. Drop it in our DMs. Slide
And
in our DMs.
y'all are like brutal with it. Y'all just all up in the air with everything. I got to be careful about which one I drop in on. I might hear some things and I'm like, wait. I didn't come in here for this.
Yes, you did. That's exactly what you listen. Whatever the topic is, that's the one you came in for.
So real quick, Jenn also has, in addition to the Love Corner, she's also in her business.
Yes.
Actually, Jenn, I'm gonna let you speak on it.
Yeah. I have a course that starts April 1st. It's a 3-month course called Juicy, a Pleasure Adventure. And I teach vulva-bodied people how to feel way more in their bodies and just have a lot more pleasure through a bunch of different techniques that I teach people. It's like very small groups, small groups, 4 to 5 people.
4 to 5, juicy.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, this has been a pleasure, and thank you guys. Thank all of you. Thank Andre. Thank you, Alfonso. Hassan had to go, but thank you, Hassan. Thank you, Jenn and Eva. Thank you. Would you come back and be a continued guest?
Yeah, if you have me, I hope.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you on for future topics. All right, Trish, this has been another great one. I want to thank K.I., thank Anna Banana, thank Bumpy Johnson, all of our producers and co-producers, sound engineering, our sponsors. In the infamous words of K.I., slow motion.
Peace.
All right. Beautiful week, everyone.
Amazing.
You've been listening to Talk It Over, the only dating relationship podcast that begins in bed. We hope you got what you needed. Make sure you subscribe. Holla at you next week.